Part 8. So we're heading back to the mortuary again. Yes, I did my own blessings in there. If I felt that I couldn't have it the way, have it as spiritually clean in a situation, say, especially with children, when there was children involved, I always had the chaplain, ask the chaplain, Patsy, if she would come down and do blessings and cleanse, like, everything in that hospital had to be blessed when it came out from the morgue. So if you had, like, with a bed and all that kind of thing, nah, that was fine, not a problem. If it was a baby's cot that I had to clean up and then take back, I would call Patsy, the chaplain lady, to come and do a special blessing, special cleansing, just for that, because it involved a child. Also with the babies that didn't make it, they were usually with other stuff, and they would have their own special blessing. Patsy would come and do a special blessing for the children, the babies. And I know it probably sounds pretty gross, but it's not. It's very normal. I dealt with that kind of stuff every day towards the end. So, if I hadn't seen a deceased person in a week, I started to, used to become very aware of it. It's like, I used to say to my workmates, I haven't seen a dead person in a whole week. And they say, good! But, yeah. But no, I become very involved in that place, very much. And I'd help the funeral directors. When they came in, helped them with when they cased with the bodies and stuff, and did a lot of tons of viewings, tons of those, and yeah, and human bodies can do some strange things, so it's never just a simple cut clear case when it comes to a viewing. If you just to put them in a freezer, a cooler, it's very different, because then the body can actually start to cool down and everything. But if you are needing to do a viewing and there's a certain situation that's going on, it does take a little bit of extra work, and sometimes we're required to go back and do a clean up and stuff for the family while they waited for us, and then we would say, all yours, give us a call if you need us again. I used to try and look after the family as best as I could. My heart broke for them, my feeling was always, it's never about me, it's never ever about me, never. It's about the family, it's about their family, deceased family, it's about all the deceased family, all the deceased people in general. So I always had that mindset, so which actually helped me a lot, because you're driven to actually get in there and do stuff, because to be honest with you, to be in that place all the time, a lot, does usually affect someone that found the place uncomfortable anyway. There were nurses that didn't like being down there. There were orderlies who didn't particularly. They did their job. Went down and did their job. But they wouldn't spend that extra down there unless they had to. Security were usually very good. The security boys are very good. They were always there to assist and stuff, and they were wonderful, top men, good guys, but the experiences I had in there, yeah. Well, we had a situation where there was a little fella had come in. He's only tiny little one, and I won't talk too much about the body, but yeah. And I remember I said to him, because he'd been in there for probably about 3 days already, and he'd been taken out for viewing. And I said to him, young fella, you're starting to get a bit off. You're starting to get off a bit, mate. And after that comment, every time I came in the morning when I was on shift, glove boxes would, not the glove boxes in the autopsy room or in the change room or anything like that, but the glove boxes that were in that immediate area, and they had probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 glove boxes of different sizes, because they had small, medium and large, and so they had them, and they were all on the floor, and this was happening every morning. And then I came in on one of the mornings after maybe 3 days of this carry on, and lo and behold, the boxes weren't on the floor. And I thought, I think my little friend might have gone. And I went into the big huge cooler, and my little friend was gone. And it was so funny. He must have been, I apologised to him though, I didn't mean anything bad by it, young man. But he found someone to play with, and it was all good. It didn't frighten me at all. And I said something, and he probably thought, oh well, I'll get you. Yeah, and I remember another night, one time, one of my workmates and myself, we went in, and there was someone in there. They were a bit, it didn't look too good, and I just made a silly comment. I learnt not to make silly comments after a while, and I said something, oh god, a little blood coming down there, and that was, you gotta remember, sometimes they're still there, they're still just standing there by their body, or they're floating by their body. And that night, my light bulb exploded, and the other guy who was with me, who laughed, one of his a painting he had done had just dropped right off the wall that same night, and so it was just really weird. And then that was it. The spirit wasn't out to permanently get us, but he just wanted. They will let us know to shut the hell up. You don't mess with that kind of stuff, And I learnt that, and I was very apologetic, and I'm sorry, I was being disrespectful and stuff, because when you see a lot of gory stuff a lot, it takes the edge off it. And like being an orderly, we wouldn't make jokes about the bodies, but we used to joke about silly stuff when we'd be in the orderly room about things, and that was because it became normalised. The seeing not nice things became very normal, and it's like anything, when something becomes normal, you don't go out of your way to disrespect the deceased, but we'd crack jokes and stuff like that, like with my workmates, I used to have old Terry on a lot, I'd say, I said, Terry, like, if you went down the morgue, mate, there'd be, if you went down the morgue where there's one body, one stiff, if you walked in there, there'd be 2 stiffs, and stuff like that. But we meant no disrespect to the dead or anything. The subject was kind of there, and I was probably the worst culprit. But hey, I gotta admit, I did see the most. I was in there the most, and security used to see a hell of a lot too. They saw a lot. So yeah, but I guess that was just how I handled it, and I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but yeah, it was, yeah, but, yeah, and one time they had someone come in. It was a lady who passed away in the family, had just left, they'd all left, her body had been taken away. And I went to walk into the viewing room just to check to see what I need to clean up. And I opened the door, and they were these red heavy doors that you needed to physically shut them, otherwise it would just sit open. And I opened the door, I walked through, and then lo and behold, boom! This door smashed behind me. I'm like, what the hell? And when you know something's not normal, I thought, okay, I'm about to walk into something here. And I walked into the viewing room, and I just felt this spirit in there. And I thought, okay, it's either a residue from that lady, or it's a family member that may be still there, or No, actually, it was a spirit because it had intelligence. Slammed that freaking door, so there may have just been residue there, but it was a spirit. It didn't feel very good. I don't know whether it was. I don't know, but I called the big guns in on that one because it was a spirit. So I called in the chaplain to come down, and they would come down and sort that out. And he never turned up, the prick. Pardon my language. The guy who was back then wasn't Patsy. Patsy would have been there with bells on. It was some other dude who was. He never turned up to do it. So so the cleaner went in there and cleaned, and she didn't know. You know, when you don't feel those types of things, you don't know. You know, she had no idea, and I became quite in tune with the vibration of the place. So I knew when there was something in there that was wrong. I could feel it. I became very in tune how that place felt. I just knew when the place was out and it needed to be cleaned. It was really, really odd there. I think, yes, we've become quite friends, myself and the mortuary, and I loved working in there and looking after the place. I loved it, and doing jobs, and God. And yeah, and what was another incident I had in there? Oh God, yeah, I'll tell you this one. Oh, this just scared the shit out of me. I remember when the funeral home had to do their embalming here, and there was a whole lot of bodies in there, and I didn't know that they'd actually started to use our autopsy room as the embalming area because they were being redecorated. And I walked in there and I thought, what the hell? Where do all these people come from? I said, what? And I'm thinking, God, something's wrong. So I thought maybe the funeral home's freezers on the bung, because we kind of all we kind of worked together with the funeral homes in a way. You know, we looked after them and they looked after us. You know, because we had something very in common. And that was the deceased, you know. So there would be, and I think they used to go to the meetings as well. I'm sure they did. Big meetings where they could make things work better. And yeah, I walked in there, and so I thought, I was curious. So I just thought, so I pulled the sheet back from this lady's. It was a lady, from her face. And I thought, oh, hello, how are you? Next minute, I felt her standing behind me, and I chucked that sheet back over, and I shot out of there, and I came running out, man. I don't know, I was just frightened. I was frightened as hell, and I ran straight into the security guard who was waiting outside for me, and he goes, you alright? I said, no. I said, that lady in there just stood behind me. And he went, what? I said, yeah. And he told me about what was there. He said, no, they're actually using, that's where they come from. And I'm, oh, okay. Scared the living bejesus out of me. Scared the living bejesus out of me. I was so frightened. And, yeah. But, yeah, okay, so I'm going to do the next one, okay.